Hey guys, I'm here doing some neck turning. So I've been experimenting with different ways of neck turning, 3 different ways, because I'm not sure which one's the best. So, I might as well run a test and see. So that's kind of what I do. The first bunch that I turned that I showed you guys on my results for my clearances, I necked those up to 7. I turned them with my 21st century cutter, fire formed them, and then did a second one with a powder test, and the third one was just neck clearance test itself. So that being said, I kind of know what I want my necks to be. So now a friend of mine loaned me an Autodod turner, and I've also got 6.5 mandrels also. So I'm just wondering myself, which way is the best? Should I turn them at 6.5, turn them at 7, or fire form them first and then turn them on the Autodod? So there's 3 different ways that I can do it, and I'm not sure which one actually is the best and which one's going to look the best on the target, which one's going to work. So I'm going to test them all just to see. So I've already got some that I necked up to 7 and did it that way. So now I'm turning some at 6.5, and I've had a bunch of guys asking me how the heck I do it. So the first thing is with a brand new case, it's just a little too tight to fit on my mandrel. I tried it and it just gets too hot. So the first thing I have to do is get a thousandths bigger mandrel and neck the thing up just a little bit. It doesn't take much, but it gets the mandrel so it's sitting just about right. So I take my case and I use just a little cotton swab, and I go inside the neck and I put a little around the outside of the neck, so when I turn it, it's got a little bit of lube on it. It doesn't take a lot, just enough to slick it up a little bit. And so go ahead and neck that up, and it's ready for neck turning. And so I've got my 21st century cutter over there. I'll do a cutaway, and I'll show you exactly how I turn on there, and then I'll come back to show you the rest of the process. Okay guys, see if I can do this without getting in the way. It's a pain to try to keep this in focus and actually turn it. So the first thing you got to do is, when you chuck up your brass, you got to make sure it's spinning nice and straight, which this one's not too bad, but you can see it wobbling just a little bit. And if you can loosen it up, spin the case around just a little bit, tighten it up, and look at that, it's spinning a whole lot straighter already. So you want to get the case spinning as straight as possible. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you don't want it wobbling around in there. You'll get a horrible cut if you do that. So get it spinning, and hopefully it won't get in the way. And just slowly go down over it, and sometimes I go over it a couple of times just to make sure I've got all the excess cut off there. You can see it cleaning it up as I go down. Hopefully my arm's not in the way. And once I hit bottom, then I kind of go a little bit like that on the way up, just because I'm kind of cleaning it up on the way out. When I see it start going, I don't want to just zoom all the way down real fast. I take my time and get all the way down to the end, and voila, there she is, a finished case. So hopefully that stayed in focus. Hopefully you can all see that. So I actually turned this, since it's still a 6.5, I turned this a little bit thick. So when I go over there and I neck it up, then it will thin out the neck as it stretches it out, and hopefully it'll be right on the money. So that's how I do that part. Now these cutters, they're like anything. You got to set it up. You've got this Allen wrench in there. Where you loosen this one, you turn this one in or out to raise it up and down to get how far down the neck you're going to turn into the shoulder. You want to get it right to the edge there. So that's how you adjust the depth. And then this wheel here, you turn it in and out to go. I always turn it way out and go in little by little by little by little, and slowly work up to my cut. These things are kind of sensitive, you know. Between a 7 and an 8 is quite a bit. So just when you get it starting to cut, just go a notch or two at a time on their little lines there, and take your time getting the first one done. So you don't need to get in a rush and just start cranking that thing around. You'll mess up a bunch of cases. Believe me, I messed up plenty of them learning how to use one of these things. So once you start cutting, just turn it in 1/1000, cut, turn it in a little more, cut, keep measuring until you get exactly what you want. So that's the way I do those. And once you got it set, well then, voila, you can just run through a whole bunch of them as fast as you can do them. So it does okay, you know, as long as you want to sit here, you know, you can get quite a few done in a day, but yeah, you still got to do all the necking up and resizing and all that stuff. So that's enough for that one. Okay guys, now that I've got a turn neck, this thing's still at a 6.5. So what I do to neck it up is I don't like necking it up all the way at once. So I step it up twice. The first one's a little bit difficult, and the next one's a little easier. Once again, I add just a little bit more lube because I took most of it off on the turning manual over there. So I just lube it up just a little bit, stick her in, and there we go. That's just the first step. That's the hard one. See, that's why I kind of like doing the necking it up after it's turned, because it's a thinner neck and it's just a little easier to turn or neck up or push down on that handle. So it's not so much force. The thinner the neck is, it's a little easier to work with. And this is my final one. And this final one is actually a 284. Let's see, the first one I used was a 281, and then I go right to 284. And you might be thinking, well geez, that's no neck tension at all, but on the brand new case there's lots of spring back going on, and there's still probably 1 or 2 thousandths worth of neck tension. After it's been fire formed out, probably want to go to a little more neck tension, but to start with, just bumping it out right to 284 is just fine. Now the other problem with these cases is right off the bat, they don't want to fit in my rifle because they're just a little too big. There's just not enough clearance in there. So what I do is I put them in my caliper zeroed out, and then I've got my bump back die. And hopefully, if all this is right, it'll bump it back 1 thousandths or so. That's all I really need. A 0.5 thousandths will get it in there fine. But just so I'm not sitting here messing around with trying to get it perfect. I've been going about 1, I guess. There it is, 1 thousandths. I don't know if you can see that, but there we go. That's pretty much everything I need to do to a case to get it ready to fire form. So of course I got to wipe off all the wax. I still got to put a chamfer on the neck and that kind of thing, and powder and bullet, and go fire form. So that's one of my methods for doing it. So you can either neck up to 7 first and turn at 6.5. Now the problem with turning at 6.5, as soon as you neck it up, it stretches that wall out and it thins out the neck. So you don't want to turn it exactly to what you want to begin with. So I had to experiment a little bit and turn these about a 0.5 thousandths thicker. So when I neck it up, it stretches it out and it ends up being right where I want. So we're going to test that method. We're going to test the other method, and I've got the auto dot over there. I'm going to show you here probably in the next video. This probably get going too long, but anyway, that's what I've been doing. That's how I neck up, you know, turn necks, neck them up, all that stuff. So I know I've showed you guys that stuff before, but brand new caliber, brand new everything, necking up brass and turning brass and fire forming brass. So it gets a little cumbersome, I guess, just to get a case ready to go shoot. So that's enough for this one. Thanks. Hey guys, if you like the videos, please like and subscribe and share it to all your friends that might be interested in bench rest or just shooting in general. Thanks.